Welcome to Strange Bedfellows, a Julian Fellowes fancast. I'm Kirt Graves.
And I'm Stefanie Jochman-Deepak. Today, we are discussing the first episode of Downton Abbey Season 2.
Pew, 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 pew. Season 2.
Should we say
Kicking
Series
off a new
2?
season. Hey.
Back in Downton.
Back to Downton. Back to these guys. Yeah. I think I said this when we were ending the last season. This is like my least favorite period of Downton, and it's the part I usually skip.
Watching these first two episodes, I don't know if I have watched them since they aired originally, because I really just skip the season and watch the Christmas special. Yeah. I think I come in a little bit like after 3 or 4 episodes. It's the war stuff. It's like it's trying to be Saving Private Ryan, and like I know it's not as extreme as that, but it's those war scenes. I was like, I just don't need it. The anxiety level's too high when I'm watching, so it's just like, no, I would rather not. Thank you. I think
so I don't.
Understandable. There a lot of really awful, miserable things happen to people that we've come to care a lot about, and so it's difficult to rewatch that. And watching the battle scenes, I think I was reminded of at the time that this Downton was such a phenomenon. By the time this season dropped, that it felt appropriate for them to, try the spectacle of war. But I don't know if they really had the budget of the phenomenon that they were, nor do I think it are like war films the oeuvre of this particular artistic team. So
yeah. Well, we're getting into the weeds already, and
we are.
We will get to the 60-second recap, but I just want to say this too, because it's interesting how in this show, Maggie Smith has a line about hating Greek drama because everything happens off stage. I feel like all the war stuff could have happened off stage and we would be just fine. I don't know that the most affecting moment, which we'll talk about later, happens to Thomas, where I'm like, okay, dramatically, I guess that makes some sense to me.
Yes.
But everything else, all the Matthew stuff, I was like, I don't think we needed any of this. And we don't need the stuff that's to come. Because they cut away from the truly like gruesome and gory stuff anyways, for the most part. Because it's Downton Abbey. But This is a case where I really feel like, yes, the show had gained great popularity. I think Julian Fellowes had the freedom to do whatever he wanted, and he said, let's do this. And if I had been in the director's chair, I would have been like, but what if we just heard about it?
Right. And to some extent, that feels more appropriate to the setting, right? That those at Downton, while hosting the convalescent home. So they are, to some extent, witnessing war, but they are far enough removed that to really echo their perspective, we might not have to go there, or maybe we experience it in flashback, in sort of glimpses and shadows and dream sequences and things like that. Well,
because there can be great drama in the unknown, because that's what the characters are experiencing. They don't know. Like, is Matthew okay?
Right.
It would have been so interesting, I think, to tell the story in a way that was just everyone being nervous and having no idea. Maybe he doesn't even show up in this first episode. Like, to have an episode or two where, like, Dan Stevens is nowhere to be seen, and we're like, we've lost contact with Matthew, we haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
Like, that could have been its own drama, and we would have never had to go to the trenches. So
I don't think we were I don't think it was an anniversary or anything like that at the time this was released. But I'd have to confirm.
Who knows? Well, do we have a 60-second recap?
We do indeed.
I'm excited for it. Since we've started talking about the spoilery stuff already, we may as well jump right in.
Yes. So this is a recipe for a new season. Take 1 new redheaded housemaid, 1 evil estranged wife, 1 grieving debutante, 1 surprise fiancé, 1 proposal separated from its actual promise of marriage, and 1 proposal made with the promise of a changing world post-war, plus 1 lucky charm. Stir tumultuously and spread to cover everything they touch. Mix in spice from a meddling maid, medical meddling from a spicy septuagenarian, and bake in a wartime atmosphere until set. Serve en flambe a la crepe Suzette.
En flambe. Love. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah. A lot happens in episode 1. And it was a long episode.
I know. I kept poor through. I told him, like, we're almost at the end of the episode.
Yeah. And it just kept going.
It just kept going. I'm like, I promise, it's almost done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then more. And then more. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was I'm watching on Amazon Prime, and it's over an hour. Just barely, but it's over an hour.
Right. And then we, for some reason, have the version with commercials.
Oh.
So
that makes it even longer.
Yeah. Just when you think you're nearly done, it's like, and now.
And when, of course, they always put the commercials. The commercials are more plentiful at the end of the episode once you're really hooked. So
I will say too, I have a bone to pick. There is a real age bias in the types of ads that are shown during Downton Abbey. There's some
interesting.
Real
Jeff Bezos, are you listening?
There's some real assumptions being made. I don't care if those assumptions match my Spotify age.
Yeah,
but they do.
I was going to say, are they assumptions or are they pretty accurate market research, and we're just ahead of the curve?
Maybe.
We're going to be so ready for that age. We're going to know all about the anti-inflammatories and the adult diapers. We're just going to be ready to go.
We're ready. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was nice to revisit this world, like the kind of the iconic sweep of the grounds as it starts, and the hustle and the bustle. It always starts with hustle and bustle.
Yes.
And it was like, I was like, oh, we're back. This is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so nice. And this one to just like drop in. Okay. I know who everybody is. There's not as much sort of table setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can get the updates, get right in the action. And I feel like so many character updates, just one after the other.
Yeah. Interesting that you say not as much character or as much table setting, because one of the things I was surprised by rewatching it is how many new people did get introduced in this first episode. I was like, oh, wow, they are not resting on their laurels as far as like taking on more actors. And as far as I could remember, we really only lost Rose Leslie. Is that her name?
Right. Yeah.
The actress's name.
Yes.
Who played Gwen.
Yep. Yeah, she's really the only person we lost.
Yeah. So we've replaced Gwen, and we've added lots of people, including some people who come in the next episode.
Yes.
So
people I totally forgot about.
Same. We'll get there. I think I have that note written down too. Totally forgot about this storyline.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. This is so haphazard, by the way. Is that fine? Are we okay with that?
I think that's totally fine. Honestly, mine are just like notes that happened in chronological order, so it's all good.
Same. Why is it that they say Lord Lieutenant, but when Robert abbreviates it, he says Lord Lute? Because we say Lieutenant.
Right. And
the Brits say Lieutenant. And in that scene, he says, I'm the Lieutenant, but the Lord Lute is an honorary title or something like that.
Does it have something to do with the word lieutenant? And it strikes me as a French word. And
but why do they say lieutenant then? It's spelled the same.
I know.
That's just how they say it. But why?
Listeners,
clearly they know it's supposed to be pronounced lieutenant, and that's why he's abbreviating it. But why on earth do they pronounce it two different ways? And we know Downton Abbey is like famously really adheres to like proper conventions of the time. So like I'm sure somebody on set was there to be like, nope, they would have said lieutenant and they would have abbreviated it as Lord Lute. And I would like to know why that's allowed. And I expect you to have an answer. Go.
I am going to look it up because now I'm really curious. I have no idea. And I did not even track that.
I had never caught it before either. Not that I've watched this a bunch of times, because again, I usually skip these episodes. But yeah, when Robert said it, I was like, wait, did he say what I think he said? And I rewound and I was like, yeah, he said Lord Lute.
Lord Lute.
Like Lord Lute as in short for Lord Lieutenant. But otherwise, they say lieutenant.
Listeners, if you know, tell us. Trust that in between episodes. I'm going to Google it.
I'm going to look it up. I could have done that, but instead, I just wrote it down and said I'm going to bring this up.
That's okay.
And leave it to Stefanie.
I like having a quest. I like having a quest.
Yeah. I also love this moment when Cora's like at breakfast and she's so worried about being caught in bed. And there's a part of me that's like, girl, who cares what they think? But then I was like, okay, I get it. It's Violet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still the mother-in-law. Although Cora, in the next episode,
certainly does assert herself. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're really getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. A lot happens in these first few minutes, but it really is just kind of like telling us where we're dropping into in time and place, which for the record is November of 1916.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah. And so like they're setting up for this charity concert, I guess, for the hospital. They're raising money for the local hospital.
Yes.
And everybody's coming together early in the morning, including Violet, who comes in.
War makes early risers of us all.
Yes, as Violet says. And she comes to tackle the flowers, which is hilarious. And she insults Cora's taste by saying her flowers always look like they're best for a first communion, ... in southern Italy.
What? The Italians.
Yeah.
Julian Fellowes, I feel slighted on behalf
I mean,
of
don't
my
forget
people.
that last season she was proposing that Mary could go find herself an Italian husband. So she sees the virtue in them.
Well, but only because they weren't very discerning.
It's a last resort. Yeah. All right, I tried.
Yeah. No, you tried, but we have enough. The receipts are there. The receipts are there.
Yeah.
Also, the flowers look like a creature from the Lost World.
Mm-hmm. God,
I feel like
wonderful.
This episode was just Bon mot after Bon mot after Bon mot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, because they've had the reaction of the first season. And it's like Julian Fellowes knows what to give us.
And he gave it.
And he gives it. And he gives it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to continue to watch now to see, like, does Violet have even more, like, quips and one-liners than she did in the first season? Because, like, that's what the people want.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So we meet Ethel, who's the new maid, who thinks very highly of herself.
Yes.
This is one example of many that I think is great casting.
Yeah.
Because, like, this actress, the way she portrays this character, and also just the look of her face, I don't like her.
No, she is so... I feel like there's this thin line where we, at least as I'm watching, I don't mind a character who's asserting themselves, who's standing out, but I feel like I expect some level of order and some level of respect for those already established characters, and she just does not have it. And no one, not even Mrs. Patmore, can get her in line. And Mrs. Patmore is formidable, and she also just, like, you know, has no fruitcakes to give when it comes to certain behaviors.
It's true. And she will have a lot of storyline in the future. Yeah. She's a good character. And then Isabel arrives to announce that she's heard from Matthew. And he is engaged.
Surprise!
Surprise. And truly surprising, because she says in the scene that he met her on his last trip to London. So that means they've met once before, and then the subsequent trip, they are now engaged?
I guess.
That seems fast.
It does. At the same time, in wartime, maybe not as fast or as unusual.
Why is that?
Well, I think, I guess more unusual for somebody like Matthew, like a man of certain position and stature, and maybe even a little bit of distance from the front, although he's experiencing, he's in the trenches. But I mean, there are all sorts of like wartime weddings and romances that there's just that urgency of, if I don't do this now, maybe I never will. And I feel like at some point in this episode or the next, he also alludes to the fact, like, I at least somebody will carry things on after I'm gone.
Yeah.
And so there is this idea of a wife might help me leave a legacy behind, and, better to get married now than never.
So I can knock her up real quick.
He doesn't say that, but maybe.
Yeah, no. I think it's incredibly fast. Even because, like, at best, they were pen pals for the time in between their 2 visits. And, and I understand the urgency of wanting to, like, marry someone. Like, if you're going with a boy or you're going with a girl, and then it's like, oh, my time has come and I've got to go. It's like, okay, well, then let's real quick get married before you leave. But, like, they just met, and now next visit, let's get engaged. It seems too fast. And it doesn't seem like Matthew. That's the part, that's the part that jumps out to me, is because I don't think this seems congruous with what we know of this character.
Well, it doesn't, but he's still smarting because there is some time between the garden party where he and Mary basically called it quits and now, but he's probably still smarting. And it's that idea of like, okay, I found somebody, she's acceptable, she seems sweet. I don't think she's going to be as complicated as Mary. Let's do this.
Yeah. Oh, how sad that that's something he would be considering.
I know.
How sad for Lavinia, too, who we also meet and is also a great piece of casting.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very sweet. Did I hate her the moment that I saw her the first time that I watched this season? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
which is, again, part of the genius of both the writing and the casting, because we take one look at this very pretty girl and very talented actress, but the way she is presented in the show makes us go like, no, not good enough.
Nope.
Not good enough for Matthew. Absolutely. He's settling.
Yeah. For that blonde piece.
Yeah.
To use Violet's word.
Is she that blonde?
She's strawberry blonde.
Very strawberry.
Drew. Yeah.
Very strawberry.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they emphasize the blonde piece, because otherwise it'd be like, we cast Ethel and we cast Lavinia.
Yeah.
And that's a lot for one.
But that is what they did. That is in fact what they did. And I'm wondering, like, had they already filmed that scene before they cast the actress and filmed the other parts of the show?
Oh, maybe. Interesting.
Because I don't look at her hair and see blonde. I just don't.
Okay.
I think it's quite red. But tell us we're wrong, internet.
Yes.
Tell us we're wrong. One of my favorite storylines of this and future seasons is Sybil's.
Yes.
Sybil, who is, and again, so this is the way that we could have told the story of the war just from the people at home, because Sybil having the realization a friend has died, she got bad news, she's very sad, and she says, sometimes it feels as if all the men I've ever danced with are dead. What a devastating line.
Yeah.
And we don't need to see the war front to feel the weight of that reaction.
Yeah.
And then I love that what it spurs her to do is want to be more involved, to want to do something. And of course, Isabel is the person who knows how to direct that energy into something really useful and really good. And yet very practically at the same time is like, well, I could help you train, like I could help get you to this course where you can train to be a nurse. But girl, you got to learn how to do something. You're useless. You're a privileged, a very well-meaning privileged brat. Like you got to learn how to do a couple things at least. Know how to wash a dish. Yeah.
Here's where I give a shout out to 2 classroom moments that have felt relevant to this plot line. Okay. One, I mean, Jessica Brown Findlay delivers that line just so beautifully. And she is wonderful in this whole season. And I was teaching Hamlet, and we got to the nunnery scene, and I was looking for different clips online to show, and she was in Hamlet with Andrew Scott. And I think she's his Ophelia.
Okay.
And I think it was post Downton. But just even like the little glimpse of her that I got, I was like, yes, here is an actress with some chops. And you see shades of that vulnerability that she'd need for Ophelia in the way that she does these lines. But then also, right around the time that I was watching this episode, students were working on speeches, and I have one student they're talking about essential skills, and his is about everybody should know how to do their laundry. And I was like, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is a speech Sybil needed to hear. But anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to flesh out the rest of her storyline, she does eventually go. Robert doesn't like it. Cora doesn't like it at first, but she comes around.
And O'Brien tattles about it, which...
And yes, let's talk about O'Brien.
Yeah. Ugh, O'Brien.
O'Brien makes it hard for this to be a PG show for me. Because I want to say words that you would prefer I not say. And I really, so I'm thinking them. O'Brien, what a, because that's what she is.
Yeah.
Insert whatever word you want there. But you know what? I love that Isabel clocks it. And we can tell from this interaction, she's like, she is sharp. She knows not to like this woman. She doesn't pretend to. She takes full advantage of the fact that she is technically in a higher class, and she gets to talk to her this way. And so when she's just hovering on the outside spying, Isabel gets to be like, what do you want?
I loved that moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, of course, O'Brien skitters off to talk to Cora and is like, oh, they want her to do free labor. It just doesn't seem fair to me. And then Cora's like, oh, it doesn't. I don't like how Cora is so easily swayed by O'Brien in these first couple episodes.
No, it's awful. Again, Cora, such a good judge of character, except when it comes to O'Brien.
Except when it comes to O'Brien. All the way through till the very end. She doesn't doesn't see it. Doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
O'Brien. Which, again, by the way, great writing, great acting. Love the actress. Hate the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But doggone it, don't they complicate things for us a little bit later on?
They do. I wanted to talk about something with you in the carriage ride back to the Dowager House.
Yes.
Or the Crawley House. I forget who gets out first. It's Isabel, Violet, and Cora, and they're talking about this thing with Sybil. Cora's against it. Surprisingly, Violet is like, you can't pretend it's not perfectly respectable. Look at all these princesses and queens who are out there in Red Cross uniforms.
Right.
And they talk about how innocent Sybil is. And then I think it's Isabel who says, her innocence will protect her. What do you make of that? I struggled with that line.
I did too. I was really puzzled. I wonder if she's thinking in terms of that innocence is also connected a bit to optimism and maybe to a lack of sort of not follow through, but expansion of a thought that she might be innocent enough to see whatever she's experiencing as isolated and not just a tiny sliver of a much larger, much more devastating problem, set of casualties, etc. That her innocence still, even though she's expanding her bubble, she's still kind of in a bubble. And that can be my only guess is how that might protect her.
Yeah. It's just, it rubbed me the wrong way. It or maybe it's more fair to say that it hasn't penetrated yet.
Yeah.
Whatever that thought is, it hasn't penetrated with me yet because I don't think that sounds right. Not that her innocence is a bad thing, but I don't know how it protects her. I think it'd be more fair to say that, like, despite her innocence, she has the wherewithal. Clearly, she has the wherewithal and the desire to do more. And she will be fine. Yeah. That her innocence does not impede her. But I don't know that it protects her.
Yeah. And maybe when she thinks about her innocence, we think about Sybil, putting on the pants and being really excited about them last season and not seeing any danger really in attending some of those political rallies.
Yeah.
So this idea of her innocence contributes to a kind of fearlessness. That she'll do what needs to be done. She won't question it or hesitate, and so that lack of hesitation might help her survival or her success.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I hate to quibble with you, Stefanie, but I do like. Is that innocence or is that just her position? She's the third daughter. Yeah. She doesn't have to be as worried about appearances and marriage and all that. So she has the freedom to say like, no, I want to go my own way and live my own life. And I haven't been groomed from day one to be like the heiress. So, but whatever it is, I think Isabel and Violet are right to say that she's ready for this. She can do it. She's no longer in the nursery. It was just that line that really, if I ever get to sit down with Julian Fellowes, that will be one of the things I ask him about.
A worthy question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much about Lady Edith because I have some things to say about her for the next episode.
Okay.
But let's just say she's still stirring the pot.
Yes. Really loving the fact that Matthew is showing up with his fiance and really loving that she gets to be the one to tell Mary that Matthew is engaged. You can, she's not, rubbing her hands together, but she might as well be.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, of course, Cora puts her in her place with the scathing, I don't know how helpful you're being.
But she was so helpful last season.
Yeah. I don't know how helpful Edith is, period.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about her next episode.
Yes.
One little aside. I get that they did not yet have portable music players, but even watching these people in the concert, watching musicians, I was like, is there anything more boring than just sitting and watching musicians play their instruments?
What? I mean, isn't that going to the symphony?
Yeah, which I find incredibly boring.
Oh, it could be really invigorating.
No, boring. Boring.
My piano just arrived.
Boring.
I'm excited.
If you're not dancing or acting, bored.
Okay.
I'm just
agree to disagree on that one.
I could close my eyes and just listen, and it would be the same experience. So why do I have to be looking at something? I'd rather just hear them. Like, they could all be facing the other way or reading a book, and it would be just as lovely. With some beautiful music.
Okay. Didn't realize this was such a sore spot for you.
Maybe it's the ADHD, but like I find it incredibly dull to just watch people be making music.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I also don't go to concerts because I find that dull too.
Oh, okay.
I suppose like there's pyrotechnics and like lasers and video things, but I mean, look, they've added all of that because they realized like somebody just standing there making music is boring. Maybe this is what symphonies need to do.
I mean, plenty do. They're
more explosions.
The biggest movement in symphonies is they'll play the score of a film and they'll play the film in the
movie.
Background. Yeah.
Yeah, gives the audience something to look at. Because we've realized the error in symphonies for the last couple thousand years.
But what about the drama of like the collective breath, or even like hearing the turn the page, or when they play Sleigh Ride? Like when you listen to like the Boston Pops playing Sleigh Ride, and you get like, you got to watch the percussion section. Somebody's doing the wood clap, right? And somebody's doing the horse neigh, or I mean, when you're in the space when an orchestra plays the overture to Carousel, even if the rest of Carousel isn't following, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, to listen to. But what are you doing with the other part of your brain?
You're watching the conductor move. You're watching the musicians sway and strum and...
Okay, well, that could be fun for maybe 30 seconds. And then after that, I'm bored.
I guess what we're really coming down to here is one theater kid and one band kid.
Maybe.
from high school. The choir kid and the band kid are really getting down to business here.
Show choir, for the record. Because I also think choirs are boring, where they're just standing there singing. That's also very boring.
I am learning so much about you today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like it. It's boring. So anyways, they're sitting like they're panning the faces watching this music, and I'm like, oh God, I'd be so bored. You know what I'd be perfectly happy to be is one of the servants down in the servants' hall, like Carson, getting some stuff done. He can still hear the music from above.
Okay.
Lovely. Lovely. I listen to music while I'm doing other things. Have I gone to my husband's choir concerts and listened to an audiobook at the same time? No. Only because he said I'm not allowed to. Otherwise, I think that would like help me out.
Okay. Well, you're a good husband. And
I did ask though. So I was like, could I just put I was like, I'll sit on the aisle and I can just have the one earbud that nobody will see. He was like, no. Fine.
Well,
anyway,
but if you attended this concert, you could, as Violet describes, have hot buttered toast with the countess, a tuppence a slice.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't a concert?
Is she going to tell me? Is she going to be a good source of gossip about what's going on?
One
in
would
the upper
hope.
Classes? Because if so, then sign me up.
You'd put up with a concert if you could sit next to the dowager?
Yeah. Especially if she's going to whisper things to me about the other people there.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
There we go.
You see.
Because that's the other thing. Is you're not supposed to talk during these things. So you're just like sitting there quietly with your own thoughts. Ugh. No.
Being cultured.
Yeah, I'm okay being uncultured. This is why I watch Downton Abbey. So I can pretend.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's jump ahead to, for now, the worst proposal ever.
Yes. Maybe for always, not just for now.
I don't know. The next episode has a pretty crappy one, too. So we're talking about Bates and Anna.
Yes.
Bates, who, to really go down to brass tacks, is saying, I hope to be able to pay off my greedy wife into becoming my greedy ex-wife. Swoon. Like, that's it. That's the whole proposal.
Yeah.
And then she has to read between the lines to be like, are you proposing? And he's like, well, if you want it to be a proposal.
After all the really beautiful things he said last season, this is really a wah-wah kind of moment.
Yeah. And then she kisses him. He's not divorced yet. Anna's being pretty loose. Well, Loose Morals Anna. That's her new nickname.
I think you're the only one who's going to call her that. They do talk about, they have hotel wishes, not caviar dreams, but dreams of children. And they're thinking about running an inn when all is said and done. Terrible.
It's
proposal.
not that they haven't had many lovely moments before, but this terrible proposal.
Yes. So,
and speaking of proposals that didn't go well, Matthew and Mary have reconnected. They've sort of made up.
Yes.
He is, to the best of his knowledge, quite happy with Lavinia, and asks Mary if she's going to be happy. And her response is, I think I'm about to be happy. Does that count? And he very kindly does not say, no. No, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. Mary, here again, Michelle Dockery is so good. I think we're spoiled having so many more years of Mary so that she grows into this really confident, sassy, maybe not so sassy, but like just confident queen, right?
Yeah.
But in these early seasons, she's so good at playing this woman who talks a big game, but at so many moments is still this very vulnerable girl.
Right.
And that's exactly who she is with Matthew. You see how fragile she is, how hard she's trying to hang on to the upper hand. The questions she's asking, like, did you miss us? I think I'm going to be happy soon. She's so eager to tell him about her new beau, Sir Richard Carlisle, to sort of be tit for tat on new partners. And you can just feel the desperation.
Yeah, and it's in a way that I think after Matthew we never see again. We never see that childlike girl-like.
You're right.
Feeling.
There's a steeliness after him.
Yeah. Then we have the arrival of Maria Doyle Kennedy. Right after this terrible proposal, we then have it gets upended right away. So,
and she calls him Batesy.
Yeah.
Why? Why isn't he Johnny? Right? Like, they've been married for years. Why is he Batesy and not Johnny? Who calls someone Batesy?
I don't think they're that close. Okay. So I think we're supposed to take maybe even from the nickname, but certainly everything else about them. They don't like each other very much. No. So it might actually be she might be like undercutting him a little bit.
Okay.
By being, like, here's an affectionate nickname that lacks any affection.
Ooh, well said.
Yeah. She also, I forget the context, but he says something and then she responds with, as if. And I was like, really? Did they say as if in the 1920s?
I don't think so. I caught that though too. I was like,
as
are you Cher?
Like, what? That took me aback. And again, did I look into it? No. But I'm bringing it up.
I caught that one too. Yeah.
So basically she because of time working with Lady Flincher, she knows all about Mary's scandal.
Yep.
Tells the story to Bates and says, like, I'm going to go to the papers if you don't come back and live with me, because now that you're rich, I kind of see the value in being married to you again.
So she blackmails him into leaving the house and leaving poor Anna in tears, which he does. After a stern sort of takedown from Robert.
Oh.
Like a real scolding. Scene. Yeah.
Great scene. And the way he has to just stand there and take it.
Awful.
And the emotions we see on his face, how conflicted he is. Great work.
Yeah.
Great work. And so smart to not have him say anything.
Yeah.
Good writing, Julian Fellowes, to just let Robert have the words.
Yep.
And without Bates saying a word, Robert even like starts to be like, okay, that was unfair. Like,
Yeah.
It's great. Really, really well done.
Yes. What I do love is in this moment where the Bates couple is speaking, Mrs. Hughes seems to be taking note from O'Brien.
Yes.
And is listening in. I was like, yeah, Elsie.
And I wonder how many other times she's done that.
I know.
Like, oh, you could take my sitting room. Out of the goodness of my heart, please use my office.
Yes. Let me just pull up.
Goes to the vent and is like, I'm listening.
Yes.
How much does Mrs. Hughes know? Because she lets people sit in her sitting room.
I mean, why do you think she's head of the staff?
Right. She knows everything.
She does. She knows when to use it.
Couple of things still rounding out this episode. This is the point at which it was like, and the episode's going to end any second now. Nope. We're going to go to Barrow in
yeah.
In the foxhole trenches. I don't know.
Trenches.
I don't know war terms. In the trenches, and he has a really scary experience. This I do think was effective.
Yes,
when he's talking to the guy and the guy is in the middle of saying, like, if a bullet has your name on it, then you go, and if not, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And they did not spare the gore on this. We saw the blood.
No. Yeah.
So that was, as much as I don't like these things, and I think we maybe could have done without it, like this scene and the next with Barrow maybe could have been the exception, so that we know why he's back.
Right.
And before we finish out his storyline, we do jump back then to Lady Sybil being dropped off at her course with Branson, who leaps and bounds have happened since the end of last season, because he is full on expressing his feelings for her.
Yes. And his lines are so good, you know, where when he sort of offers his feelings and she says, I'm flattered. And he's like, flattered is a word that posh people use when they're getting ready to say no. It's cost me all I've got to say these things. Like, you want to talk about an appropriate proposal.
Yeah.
Right? What to say to the person that you love and are in love with. Branson's got the right idea.
Agreed. And then we also see Anna comforting Ethel. Anna is too good for this world. Despite her loose morals, she's
willing to
really, she sees Ethel in pain, and her instinct is still to comfort.
Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful. Side note, I did really like all the ways that O'Brien was kind of like hazing Ethel. That was fun. All right. I'll give that to O'Brien.
Yeah. Here's how this season really complicates O'Brien, because Ethel is just so, acting above her station and above her position. They're like, yeah, you need to get taken down a few pegs. And so when
the
O'Brien
person to do that, we have just the one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that was kind of good. That was pretty clever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we get back to Thomas, and he has a conversation with Matthew. They run into each other, and he decides that his best course of action is to get away from the front, and the best way to do that is to be injured in such a way that he can no longer fight. And so he intentionally gets his hand shot. Mm-hmm. And this is where I wonder, did Julian Fellowes know the show was going to run as long as it did, and that they were going to have to account for this hand for almost 4 full seasons and 3 movies?
I don't know.
Because he has to keep that thing covered for basically the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. So, he made a decision in the beginning of season 2 that that's going to last a long... maybe it didn't have to be such a visible spot on the body.
Yeah.
Except now it is, and we got to make sure that glove is there, and I'm going to be watching for it now. I'm going to be watching for continuity and see if they ever mess up and let us see his unmarred hand in the future.
Because to be honest, I don't think... I had totally forgotten about this. So, paying attention for, is it gloved, is it scarred? I had not been attentive to that.
No. So an act of desperation to get away from war, which again complicates his character in a way that's really interesting.
Yes.
And we will certainly get to see more of him in the future.
Yeah. Before we close, I would bring it back to Mary and Matthew, because we end on this scene with Thomas, but Mary and Matthew, seem to have become friends again, and they have this really beautiful moment at a train station in what feels like it felt like there were 2 episodes, and the end of the first episode is their scene at the train station, where she gives him a lucky charm to keep with him. And she has this kind of, he's speaking in ways of acknowledging this might be the last time we see each other. And she is very much stiff upper lip, a real tearful cheeriness that's so sweet and so loving, and just a really great moment. Unfortunately for Lavinia, a moment that makes me really hate Lavinia more. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, there's a chance. Look at this. They've made it up, and she's giving him a lucky charm. I think I have heard Michelle Dockery talk about that object, that little animal, is one of the props that she took with her.
Good.
That she kept with her from Downton. which is very sweet.
It is. It is. Yeah, it's interesting that, and we'll see more of this, I think, in the next episode. Lavinia is really one who needs to be cared for. And I think Matthew is attracted to that in her, that it is someone who will allow him to take care of her. Mm-hmm. And here is Mary doing something to take care of him.
Yeah.
It may be symbolic. It's gestural. But she shows up to say, I'm here. I'm giving you this object that I think will keep you safe. I'm doing what I can to bring you back.
Yeah. And then praying, which is something she admits she doesn't do frequently.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Overall, good episode.
Yes. Great episode. Rousing start to the season.
Very good. Yes.
And the end of our episode means that it's time for some trivia.
Yay!
Yay! So every episode, one of us will challenge the other with a trivia question related to a Julian Fellowes property we're discussing that week. Could be an actor, the production, the time period. The possibilities are endless. So let's take a listen to my answer from last week.
In the miniseries, the lifeboats are marked SS Titanic. This is an error. Photos taken of the Titanic as it departed show that the lifeboats actually read RMS Titanic. The Titanic was technically both. So what is the distinction? And for bonus points, what do the acronyms SS and RMS stand for?
Oh, man.
British history.
Ooh, okay. Is RM, so what is the distinction?
Yeah.
Distinction is like, is it royal? Is the R for royal?
Yes.
Okay. Is it distinction the class of ship?
No, not really.
Okay, that's my only guess for the distinction, and then for what the words mean, it's like Royal Maritime Ship.
Okay.
Versus seafaring ship. I don't.
Good guesses. You're halfway there, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So SS stands for steamship, which the Titanic was. Yes. And RMS stands for Royal Mail Ship, as in mail that we send, like letters and things, not a boy.
Oh.
So oftentimes you could have an SS something that was then used to send mail across the Atlantic, and then it would become an RMS. Oh. And the Titanic was RMS Titanic, a Royal Mail Ship, but it was also a steamship.
This is a very useful bit of trivia.
You never know when it might come up.
You're going to enlighten every steamship-based drama we watch from here on out, friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Listeners, did you get it right? Follow us on Instagram at Strange Bedfellows. That's Fellows with an ES, where we'll be posting the next trivia question. This week, I have a trivia question for Kirt.
Bring it on.
All right. So, as I alluded to, I feel very proud of myself and very thematic in my contributions this episode. So we started with the recipe, and my question for you today is about crepe Suzette.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. So crepe Suzette, which is a dish Mrs. Patmore was making that Ethel really craved and which the dog came to enjoy, consists of crepes, which are flambéed tableside and covered with a sauce traditionally made from caramelized butter and sugar, Grand Marnier triple sec or orange curacao liqueur, and juice from which fruit?
Okay. I'm trying to think if I saw any fruit on the table in the scene. It would make sense if it was like, it's easy to juice get juice out of a citrus, but would you do the orange liqueur with an orange or with a lemon or a lime? What other things are easy to juice? I'm going to go... No, I'm not, because that would be insane at this point in time. I was going to say pomegranate, but I don't think they had easy access to pomegranate. Easy access fruits. I'm going to say a lemon.
So close. It's an orange.
It wasn't orange. They doubled down on the orange.
Yeah, orange or tangerine.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia.
There you go. There you go. And see, I was like, they wouldn't do both. Would they do both? I need to go with my first thought more often.
Yeah. But you were very close. So good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, tune in next episode to find out if Kirt got it right. If you think you know the answer, find this week's question on Instagram and put your answers in the comments.
This has been another episode of Strange Bedfellows. You've heard our thoughts, and now we want to hear yours.
The best way to get in touch with us is on Instagram. Again, that's at Strange Bedfellows with an ES in Fellows, or email us at strangebedfellows@gmail.com. You can also find our personal social media links in the show notes.
If you would be so kind, please rate and review the show wherever you're listening to us right now, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.